Any vehicle in the Stellantis lineup is capable at any time of being tied down, while mad folks from Mopar stuff V8s into engine bays. The latest example of this is, of course, the bonkers Jeep Wrangler Rubicon 392. Yes, that's right, this Jeep behind me has a 6.4-liter Hemi under the hood. This is both a terrible idea and an awesome one. A quick glance and you can see the familiar four-door Wrangler shape, but a deeper look and you can see there's a bit more going on here. The hood is the same one found on the Gladiator Mojave, which gives the Rubicon 392 a nice place for air to get sucked into while making sure any water is separated out. Beneath the skin though, Jeep have reinforced the frame, adjusted the front crossmember for engine clearance, and stiffened the motor mounts. Jeep also had to lift the suspension an inch to make sure the engine has the clearance it needs. At each corner you'll find 17-inch beadlock capable wheels wearing 33-inch KO2 tires, though Falcon Wild Peaks are also available. There's a 392 badge on the hood too, in case the booming exhaust doesn't let other Jeep owners know that they are now less than. And to drive that home further, the Rubicon 392 gets gold tow hooks. On the inside, it's standard Jeep Wrangler. The seats are comfortable, the Uconnect system works wonderfully, and our tester here is fitted with the Sky One-Touch power top. The most important bits here are, of course, the rolling gear and powertrain. Let's lift the hood and marvel at the fact that this has a massive V8. That's a 392 cubic inch Hemi making 470 horsepower and 470 pound-feet of torque. It's backed up by an 8-speed TorqueFlite gearbox running power through the Select-Track 4-wheel drive setup. In 4 Auto, 70% of the torque is sent rearward. That switches to a 50-50 split in 4-part time. You've got Dana 44 axles front and rear, you've got larger front brakes taken from the Gladiator Mojave, and you have Fox shocks swapped in to handle the bouncy bits. So does all that engine power translate to usefulness off-road? Yeah, of course it does. Having all that torque readily available way down low is, frankly, awesome. You can alert everyone on the trail that you're coming by just leaving the exhaust in its loudest of the 2 modes and then using the gas pedal. And you can let everyone on the trail know that you're coming by just pushing the throttle down and making sure the exhaust is in the open position of its 2 modes. Now, as far as the handling of this vehicle goes, you're going to notice on road that it is very much a Wrangler, but thankfully, and I haven't confirmed this with Jeep, I'm waiting for an answer from them, but my suspicion is that they've slowed the steering down a bit, which is a wise move because you do not want quick steering in a shorter wheelbase vehicle with a twitchy, fun wanting to have V8 engine, a 6.4 liter V8. It's amazing that I'm even saying that when I talk about this thing because you have an uphill section and then you just do that and then the uphill section is now behind you. And then off-road, I can also appreciate the slower steering. It makes maneuvering feel safer. If this had quicker steering and also if this was a 2-door Wrangler, I fear that we would be in for some hairy situations. But with the slightly longer wheelbase of the 4-door, the slower steering, it all kinds of makes sense. It would make a lot of sense in the Gladiator too, so hopefully that is coming down the road as well. But the rest of it, the brakes, all that stuff, it works fine out here on the trail. This in fact has the larger front brakes from the Gladiator Mojave, which is good for stopping power, which again is good when you have a 6.4 liter V8 tucked into the nose of this thing. It's wild. But it's still comfortable off-road because, after all, this is a Rubicon. It is the Rubicon 392. It is not the entry-level 392. That doesn't exist. It's just this. It's the king of the hill. So if you want the biggest engine, you got to get the most capable Wrangler to get it. This is the sort of Jeep you buy and then you drive through your neighborhood looking for other Jeep owners late at night, and then you creep onto their lawn and you sit there idling. And this thing chops. That V8 has some chop to it. And you sit there idling, the light comes on, they peek their head out, and they look at you, and you just stare back at them. You rev it a few times, and then you drive off. And then you let them know they are now aware that they do not have the coolest Jeep in the neighborhood anymore. You are the king because you have the 392 badge on the hood. This is like a bully. But it doesn't have to be a bully. It can be shouty, but it's like a shouty to have fun. This Maniac machine is not cheap. The base price is right around $75,000. As tested, this one is $78,000, and with a few options, it's easy to take this into the low 80s, and that assumes no dealer market adjustments because boo! If you consider this a budget G-Wagon, maybe it starts to make sense, minus the whole luxury part of the equation. But otherwise, what are we doing here? But does this need to make sense? If you really want something less shouty, you can get any other Wrangler, including that new hybrid one. And hopefully owners of both of them will give each other a Jeep wave friendly as they go down the trail. One in quiet, serene enjoyment of nature. The other with crazy eyes, white knuckles, and a screaming, bellowing V8 exhaust note. The good thing here is that both of those people will be having a great time.